order to be the champ, I'll have to get beaten a couple of times.
Yeah.
You're a monster.
Back up against the wall. Cause I'm about to set trip, vacation plans.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video. It's Asia here. If this is your, I was like, random hand finger. Hey guys, it's Asia here. Welcome back to another video. If this is your first time to my channel, if it is not your first time to my channel, then you already know what I'm about to do, maybe because I've been doing different things lately. Let's just hop into what this video is all about. The other day we did a video where we analyzed a music video slash song. It was really analyzing the song. Anyways, today what we're going to be doing is talking about okay. I don't think it's going to be possible for me to get through this video without smiling. I tried to record this video the other day. I'm really going to try to get through this video without doing a ton of smiling. I can't help it because when we're talking about... Okay. I just get all up in my feelings because I love Eminem. Anyway, I love Eminem. Anyway, I love Eminem. Anyway, it's just not possible. It's just not possible for me to get through this without having a shot. Like, I mean, we're talking about Eminem. You know what I mean? Whew. And let's just say it didn't. It was just not possible for me to record this video without like smiling a whole lot. I'm Eminem. Anyway, Eminem. Anyway. I'm probably gonna be heavily smiling throughout the entire thing. So obviously I am a super huge fan of Eminem. Anytime he has a new article, a new video, a new release, whatever it is, I am right there listening because I grew up listening to his music, and this usually elusive rapper recently released his album Music to Be Murdered By, and my assumption is that all of the frequent interviews that we've been seeing of him, which I don't actually mind, they help to fuel interest in his most recent album. This most recent appearance found Eminem sitting across from heavyweight champion Mike Tyson, who may or may not have an affinity for ear biting, which I'm okay with just as long as my ear is left in place. Was featured in Eminem's most recently released video, Godzilla, which I kind of want to say Godzilla just because that's how he says it in the song, but it's Godzilla. I know, he's just so amazing. Like, he makes words sound like something else and we just all go with it just because it's Eminem, you know what I'm saying? And who also, by Eminem's words, can
Knocked him down 3 times with 1 punch.
I'm not gonna get through this. It's just not even humanly possible for me to get through this. I would be just a little bit nervous if I was sitting across from this man for 47 minutes. Wouldn't you? I felt that tension when I was watching the interview. In one breath, Mike Tyson says,
I feel that way, and I don't even have that in me anymore. I don't even have the mentality.
And then in the very next breath, he says,
yeah, that's how I looked at it. Every time I hurt somebody and knocked them out, my life gets better.
Yeah.
And so I love hurting people now.
Yeah.
But my friends, do not be fooled, because while Eminem did not finish school, he is not stupid. This man is very smart. He knows how to let sleeping, biting dogs lie. So when Mike Tyson sucker punches a mile off of the famous place, the place that Eminem made famous, where he lived, which was formerly known as 8 Mile. Mike Tyson said it was 7 Mile. Eminem knew better than to correct him. So for the remainder of the interview, M didn't say anything. Can I call him M? You just do not correct the lion. Let sleeping dogs or sleeping lions lie. You know what? When I watched the interview, I felt like there was this weird, I don't want to say tension because tension gives a negative connotation, but there was like this weird energy. I love being able to watch Eminem express himself, and in this interview we see a side of him that we don't regularly get to see. He's very boyish. He kind of like fangirls a number of times. He looks at the floor a lot. He smiles. He laughs, okay? Like, Eminem smiles and he laughs. When does that usually happen? Like, we got to see it happen, but only for like a split second because the cameraman knew to cut that off, because I mean, it's not M's image, you know what I mean? Why am I calling him M? I need to call him Eminem, although he said,
yeah, you got Marshall right now,
because he was like super like fangirling over Mike Tyson.
Thank you.
I can't even, like, I feel like a kid right now, man. Like, this is crazy.
You know what, honestly, I would be like that too. Like, I would be like, I'm really not trying to fangirl over you. Like, I'm not trying to fangirl over you, Eminem. But if it happens, can you just stop me so that I don't look like an idiot?
Yo, I'm so excited, man. If I start getting weird, just stop me.
Should I call it fanboy or fangirl? Eminem fangirling. He's not a girl, so he would be fanboying. Can we make that a thing? Fanboy? And he wasn't like that at all, but you could tell like he was keeping it in check, but he was still kind of like, I was really looking forward to the commentary that could have been had about the new album Music to Be Murdered By that Eminem just released, but really this was exactly what the title represented: hotboxing with these two artists, minus the hotboxing. Anybody that knows what hotboxing is, I'm not going to explain it on this channel, but you can go and like look it up. And even though these two artists just sat together and talked, it was really refreshing to see. And in as much as we may have all come there to see Eminem, I was really pleasantly surprised by all of the sage wisdom that came from Mike Tyson. This was basically like two friends just sitting around shooting the
shaving cream, be nice and clean.
I grew up seeing and hearing about the bad boy image of Mike Tyson, and to be honest, his image was not all that favorable. I'm sure many of you know if you don't. Seeing both of these artists reflect on their perspectives of their roles in their two industries was really refreshing. It was really insightful, and to be honest, I prefer this type of interview style more than the interviewer-interviewee. Mike Tyson didn't, like, he asked him questions, but it was like watching two friends sit down and have a conversation with each other, and I feel like that's more organic and just, it gives us insight into both people, and it also allows the person that's being interviewed to just be themselves and relaxed. This interview was really my first introduction to Mike Tyson's channel. While I didn't think I would ever really like enjoy anything by Mike Tyson, to be honest, I really enjoyed this interview, and I'm looking forward to watching more interviews of his. He doesn't just interview people who are in the boxing world. He's even interviewed, I think I saw Smokey Robinson on there, so I'm really interested. But I was thinking, like, is there like a little bromance that's getting started? I mean, 'cause like, this is what the interchange felt like going through the interview. In the beginning, there was like this nervousness, tension that I felt coming from Eminem, and then he eased up and was just super fanboying over Mike Tyson. It was really cute. In a portion of the interview, Mike Tyson asked Eminem, why did you become who you were? And Eminem's response was,
I was never really good at much else. I just loved hip hop growing up as a kid. It was like it spoke to me more than any other music I had ever heard before.
Which I can totally understand, because music speaks to me in a way that nothing else does. His introduction to hip hop, to rap, by someone that was really close to him. I was introduced to music by my dad, and music just holds a very special place in my heart. And it's really nice when you hear an artist that fully reflects how you feel inside of their music. You feel a connection to that artist because you feel like they understand what you're going through. Many of you might be thinking, how could I possibly feel a connection to Eminem? I did not have the easiest life growing up, and when I would hear his music, it would make me feel like I wasn't so alone. Like his music was so genuine and honest, and you could hear the hurt in it, that it let me know that somebody else out there was going through things or had been through things, and that I wasn't the only one that was experiencing what I was experiencing. So even though it wasn't the same thing, it still resonated. His music resonated with me. At one point in the interview, Eminem tells the story about how he got to where he is today, and after he tells the experience, he pauses.
Wow. It was fast.
Didn't seem fast, did it, to you, huh?
Nah, I did not.
Yeah.
Nah.
That pause, for anybody who's had to work hard for something or had to struggle for something, they know that what that pause said, they know it really well. I can't put words to it. it's almost like that pause was a remembrance of some pain. I feel like in that moment, Eminem was reflecting on all of the things that he went through, and it's actually at that point in the it's actually at this point in the interview where I realize that Mike Tyson has in fact, remember that bad boy image we were talking about, Mike Tyson has in fact learned from his experience and draws on them. So keep that in mind for your personal life too. You might have some moments that cause you to pause. You might have some bad moments in your life where maybe you didn't make the right decision, but your life is not a failure. You can always, in the example of Mike Tyson, it's a really poignant interview because you see how he's learned from his mistakes, and it makes him, I think, like, you have to want to learn from your mistakes though. Like, you can't just go through something bad and then be like, oh, I learned from it. Like, you can't, it's not like, it doesn't work like that. So even if you have gone through something and you experienced something that maybe wasn't the best, you do not have to be a product of what you went through. You can use that experience, learn from it, and become better or help other people, which I feel like is exactly what Mike Tyson does with his life and also with his channel. So some of the things that I got from Mike Tyson that I really enjoyed. Eminem was talking about how he's boxed on and off for the past 13 years, which I never really knew about, which I think is so super cute. He's a boxer. How do you say, oh yeah, I've been boxing for 13 years to the freaking heavyweight champion, like, of the world? Is he the heavyweight champion of the world? I think he is. Anyways, so Mike Tyson then, no. Okay, so in the interview, Eminem talks about how he got knocked out by a 15-year-old, and Mike Tyson says this to him.
That's just how it is in life with people. They mature, they peak at a certain age. I peaked at like in my 20s and stuff. Some people peak in their 30s. Some people peak in their teens. It's just weird.
Another instance, he talked about giving up your happiness to accomplish your goals, that if you want to be the best, there's going to be some disappointments. And I really appreciated hearing that because it is really true. Like, you give up every time you do something, you're giving up doing something else, and only you know what value the thing that you're reaching out for has, and only you can assess whether or not it's worth it. Just be prepared to have disappointments. And I feel like that was really important to hear, because just because there are disappointments in your journey doesn't mean that the journey to your goal is a failure. There's going to be disappointments. I mean, we live in an imperfect world. It's going to be what happens. There were so many gems. I think at this point I really enjoyed when, I think it was Eminem who said, you forget what hunger pains feel like if you've always been eating. Like, he's trying to he was talking about reminding himself to always be hungry when he goes into the studio, when he does what he does, because if you've been successful at it, I do imagine that you get a little bit complacent. And so he tries to remember the days when he wasn't eating so that he continues to have that hunger that drove him to be as successful as he is. Partway through the interview, Mike Tyson says, without struggle, there's no progress. How do you guys feel about that? Really, you guys, in this interview, they talk about some pretty super deep stuff, and that's the thing that people miss out on, I feel like, when they don't listen to hip-hop, when they don't expand their horizons outside of the things that they are interested in. Because even though we might be different, we can all still learn from each other. Look past the persona, listen to the lyrics, listen to the words, try to understand the meaning. Like me, I'm sure that many of you have your musical playlist on repeat during this time of implementing social distancing, and why not try to expand your musical vocabulary by listening to an artist or to artists, plural, that you don't usually listen to. I guarantee you that inside of Eminem's music you will find something that you have never heard before. Let me know. Are you a fan of Eminem? Are you not? How did you feel about this interview? What are some points from this interview that you took out of it that you feel like you can implement in your life to better yourself or encourage you? Let's talk about it in the comments section. I will see you guys in another video. I really super enjoy talking to you guys about music because obviously I love music, anything that deals with music. I have favorite artists, and I'm definitely going to be bringing more of that to you guys. If that's something that you enjoy, make sure you click this like button, make sure you click the subscribe button, hit that notification bell, leave me a comment, and share this with your friends, and I will see you guys in the next video. I hope you guys are having a beautiful day. Bye guys.
I don't know. Once I found out I was decent at something, I just kind of focused and just, you know, went for it. I feel like if you hit me, I would probably die.